Preparing to land a job or internship often includes working on your professional documents and interviewing skills. As you work on these skills, however, you may find that this process raises questions regarding how identity and diversity recruitment intersects with how you represent yourself. If you would like to learn more about social identities and diversity recruitment in preparing for the job search, you can check out part 1 of this video series. Typically, people construct their self-concept based on their membership in different social groups. These aspects can be lenses through which we see and experience the world. These 8 aspects of social identity are the most commonly mentioned identity categories, but are not the only ones. Questions surrounding your identities may arise during any part of the hiring process, so it's good to be aware of how these identities may intersect and influence your job search experience. One topic that often comes up for students is how to express your identities on your resume. Imagine that you put your given name on your resume, but you choose to go by a different name. First of all, this is very common. Many people choose to go by a different name than their given name for a variety of reasons. So what should you do if you introduce yourself and an employer comments on a discrepancy? There are a couple of options. First, you do not need to put your legal name on your resume. Instead, your resume should include the name you would like to go by professionally. If you prefer, you can also print your chosen first name followed by your given first name in parentheses. If a name discrepancy does come up in your job search, just tell the employer your chosen name. You do not have to explain why you chose this name or take any more time away from talking about why you are a good candidate for the position. Although this scenario is about names, keep in mind that there may be other social identifiers on your resume, such as clubs or affiliations, and that's okay. Just remember that you choose what you would like to display or disclose, and you should prepare how to respond to a question about those details in an interview setting. Illegal interview questions are rarely an issue for interviewers today. However, it is possible that you may encounter an illegal question during the interview or in casual conversation with an employer. For instance, a recruiter might ask you, have you ever had an injury or a condition that would prevent you from carrying heavy items? This is an illegal question because it could lead to disability discrimination. There's a fine line between legal and illegal questions in an interview setting, and most interviewers are extensively trained to avoid them. Of course, regardless of whether you think the question may be illegal, if you are uncomfortable with a question asked, you do not have to answer it. However, be aware that choice may affect the outcome of the interview. If you do answer the question, the general choices are to deflect the question, ask about the relevance of the inquiry, or answer directly. One way to approach the situation here would be to ask yourself, what are the assumptions or concerns underlying this question? That way, you can address those concerns without answering the illegal question. In this scenario, you might say, I have had experiences moving boxes and other heavy items in my previous job. This addresses the concern that you are able to complete the tasks required without disclosing any disability. You can also ask a question such as, could you tell me how this relates to the job? This can alert the interviewer that the question is not appropriate or help you gain clarifying information to answer the question. Questions like this could come up involving any social identity. There are many resources on MSU's campus that can help you develop strategies and tools related to your specific concerns. You can also contact the Career Services Network for a mock interview appointment to try out your responses. One note that is important for international students: employers are allowed to ask whether a job applicant will require sponsorship now or in the future. This is not an illegal question. For F1 students, the answer to that question is yes. If you are an international student and have specific questions about employment in the U.S., the Career Network has resources specifically for you. Follow the link to the International Student Resource page under Interest Areas at careernetwork.msu.edu. Sometimes it's not just the questions asked that can make you feel uncomfortable. It can also be the environment of the interview. As you look around, you may not see employees who look like you. If that does happen to you, adopt a strengths mindset, but listen to your gut. Remembering your strengths, skills, and experiences can help you present yourself as a confident and competent candidate. The organization may be looking for attributes that you possess to add to the company culture. It can be easy to make negative inferences before you have all the information, but in this particular scenario, you may want to continue to assess the situation throughout the entire interview. Do you get the sense that the company wants to help you use your skills and abilities to diversify their organization in a positive way? On the other hand, does your conversation give you the feeling that this may not be a company culture that is right for you? Consider asking the interview team about affinity groups or other aspects of the company culture that matter to you. Trust yourself and the feeling you get from the interview. From these scenarios, you can see that it is not only the company that is making a decision that determines your future employment with them. You are an active and important participant in this process. Use the interview to gather information about the company. Ask yourself, do the company demographics reflect the company's values? Did they offer a welcoming environment? Were the questions they asked appropriate and legal? Do you think you'd be a good fit for the position? Or do you even want to work for this employer? These factors and more should all be considered when determining whether or not a company is going to be the right fit for you. There are many campus resources available if you would like to dive deeper into how your social identities may intersect with your job search. Consider some of these resources for your next step. Of course, you are always welcome to make an appointment on Handshake with a career advisor or drop by Career Services at the Student Services building to speak about your specific situation. If you're interested in these topics, check out some of these references for more information.